morning. Whether or not you're in parliament, आपकी चर्चा वहां होती है. आपने देखा ही होगा अखिलेश यादव आपको याद कर रहे थे.
मुझे अखिलेश जी से संयम, समझ और संस्कार की बिल्कुल उम्मीद नहीं है. मुझ जैसा टैक्स पेयर जो काम करता है ताकि भारत की संसद में अहम मुद्दों पर परिचर्चा हो, उसकी तो एक ही अपील होगी कि सीरियल से ध्यान हटाकर वो संसद पर ध्यान केंद्रित रखें और इन ऐतिहासिक मुद्दों पर अपना समर्थन मोदी सरकार को दें.
जी, जो सबसे बड़ा सवाल है, the opposition is of the opinion that the intent of the Modi government is suspect. Now, they say that if the government really wants to do this, why are they not watching the talk? Why wait after the bill was unanimously passed in 2023? How would you answer that question and respond to the opposition?
In 2023, in unanimity was the cacophony of the opposition which said, why not implement it in the next general elections? Given that the time with regards to the 2024 elections was not sufficient enough to implement 33% reservation for women in parliament, I applaud the government for now taking up this issue to ensure that it is applicable in the forthcoming general elections. So the opposition then, which was united in one voice with regard to speedy implementation of the reservation for women, today has done an about turn. So I am as flummoxed as you are as to why an opposition that wanted it to be hastily implemented today does not want that, especially when the Modi government has proffered all assurances that the opposition has sought on the floor of the House.
Now, many like Shashi Tharoor have even gone on to link this to delimitation. I'm not aware whether you know what he said. He said this is the political delimitation, the demonetization. And I mean, to compare this to Notbandi, do you think it's it's an extreme position only because all the concerns of the opposition have been answered by the Prime Minister, by Amit Shah?
I think that anybody who wants to chase headlines and does not want to be politically prudent, pragmatic, or for that matter constitutionally correct, does not deserve a response. If you look at the delimitation proposal of the government, the Home Minister yesterday was more than transparent that the Delimitation Act, which was proposed by earlier governments, has not been in any way tinkered with. That the delimitation process, once it's completed, will be presented as a report to Parliament, and once Parliament gives its assent, then the President of India will give her seal and her approval to the same. Additionally, I want to highlight here that this is the same opposition which, when the UPA was in power, said कि वर्तमान व्यवस्था को हाथ ना लगाएं, do not touch the pie politically as it's existing, enhance the size of the pie and then implement 33% reservation for women. तो जब सरकार 2023 में जो आज विपक्ष का हिस्सा है उनकी बात सुन रही है, जब हिस्टोरिकल कॉन्टेक्स्ट में मोदी सरकार 2010 में जो बीता सदन में जब बिल फाड़ा गया, जब तमाशा किया गया, तब भी इन राजनीतिक दलों का जो स्टैंड था दैट डू नॉट डिस्टर्ब द पॉलिटिकल पाई एज इट इज, एनहांस द पाई, आप संख्या बढ़ाइए सदन की और उसमें आरक्षण को लागू कीजिए. मोदी सरकार ने इन दोनों विषयों पर ऑपोजिशन पार्टीज की ही बात मानी है. और अगर आपको साइज एनहांस करना है तो आपको कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज रीड्रॉ करनी ही पड़ेगी. ये एक संवैधानिक सत्य है. दिस इज अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल रियलिटी. और अगर आपको कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज बढ़ानी है तो आपको डिलिमिट करना ही पड़ेगा, आपको रीड्रॉ कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज करनी ही पड़ेगी. और कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज को रीड्रॉ करने के लिए आपको सेंसस का डेटा चाहिए और वो लास्ट सेंसस का जो डेटा है उसी के आधार पर सरकार कह रही है कि हम डिलिमिटेशन करेंगे. वर्तमान में जो व्यवस्था है उसमें योर सेंसस इज underway. As the Home Minister has said, the household count is on, the building count is on. अगर विपक्षी दल रैली चाहते हैं कि the reservation for women in parliament is applied in the next Lok Sabha election, I am flabbergasted as to why they would want to delink it from not only delimitation but also the whole constitutional procedure that the government is proffering on the floor of the House. मैं आपको एक और बात इसमें जोड़ कर देती हूँ, ये सारी जो टेक्निकलिटीज में चुनौतियां विपक्षी पार्टियां आज प्रस्तुत कर रही हैं, उसके पीछे एक कारण ये भी हो सकता है कि वंस विपक्ष के फॉर्मूले को कोई अपनाने की कोशिश करे तो इट डज नॉट विथस्टैंड जुडिशियल स्क्रूटनी। आप इमेजिन कीजिए, अगर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल संवैधानिक मर्यादाओं का हनन करती है सरकार, तो क्या सरकार का ये प्रपोजल फिर जुडिशियल स्क्रूटनी को विथस्टैंड कर पाएगा? तो विपक्ष का जो रवैया है, द ऑपोजिशन टुडे हैज टेकन अ स्टैंड दैट ईदर दे डू नॉट वांट द implementation of 33% reservation for women in parliament, or they want such a structure that can be struck down by the Supreme Court of India. In toto, they do not want to see political equity for women in Indian parliament.
Preeti ji, let me ask you about what Priyanka Gandhi said. One of the things that she said was that, apart from doubting the intent, we've covered that, but she said that even the process and the panel is suspect. Amit Shah then got up and intervened, and he said, look, we haven't changed one word, full stop of comma. The rule made by the Congress government, stands today. So what will the Congress do now? Do you think that, they've run out of excuses and this is...
Congress's intent. Unless it was the Congress's intent to structure it such so that the Congress politically benefits from it. And the Congress has practiced that kind of delimitation politics, and hence it is fearful that they have already set a political benchmark. Is that the position of the Congress party? I heard Ms. Vadra's snippets of speeches where she spoke about eloquently how her grandfather or somebody else in the family thought of this issue to begin with. My question then is that they had power for 6 decades in our country. Why is it that, knowing that this is the equitable thing to do, did they not pass this legislation in both houses of parliament, knowing that this is the constitutionally correct and ethical thing to do? Why is it for 6 decades they denied women in our country political equity?
That's right. This keeps coming up that if the Congress really wanted to give quota to women,
political equity को discredit किया.
I agree with you, and this keeps coming up even in debates, and the Congress has no answer to this question, that when the seats were frozen in the 1970s and the Congress government even after that had majority, why were they waiting for someone to raise this, make an issue out of this? So there is a question of intent, but I want to now move on and talk about the quota within quota.
If the Samajwadi...
Yeah, go ahead, ma'am.
I want to hear highlight if you say कि मेरे पुरखों ने इसको सोचा था. Post independence, you had the complete political might in both houses to pass this. The second thing which needs reflection is that time and again they go back to 2010. Anybody who knows political history of our country knows that in 2010 in Rajya Sabha, it is when the Congress allies did not support the passage of the bill, the BJP in opposition stood up and supported it and helped it passed in Rajya Sabha. The question now is that the Congress had majority, the UPA had majority in Lok Sabha. The UPA had already tested the support of the BJP in the Rajya Sabha. If the UPA then wanted, it could have passed in Lok Sabha as well. The UPA, led by the Congress party, allowed it to lapse in Lok Sabha. So if you look at the political evidence given by the Congress party, they were never in favor of ensuring women have 33% reservation in parliament or legislative assemblies. They had the power, they had the opportunity, they had support from the BJP in opposition, but they never did the justice that women in this country politically deserve.
Smriti ji, now let's talk about the quota in quota issue. Now, parties like the Samajwadi Party want a quota in quota, and principally the government has said that we have no problem. But Akhilesh Yadav and members of his party have been demanding a Muslim quota. Now, the constitutional does not allow that. What do you make of this demand, a Muslim quota?
And that is exactly why they are asking for it. That is exactly why Akhilesh is asking for it. It is not that he does not know that the constitution does not permit religion-based reservation. Let's all be very mindful. The Indian voter and Indian citizen who's currently watching you is extremely intelligent. Akhilesh Yadav knows very well that religion-based quotas is not allowed. It's not constitutionally mandated. This is just him chasing a headline for his vote bank. Because any conscientious politician, honestly, would not try to, in any way, create this kind of an ecosystem within their vote bank and lie. So what Akhilesh Yadav has done is blatantly lie to his vote bank to say, listen, I am standing up for your rights, knowing that Constitution does not permit it. So what Akhilesh Yadav has done in Parliament is actually exhibited how he lies to his vote bank, knowing very well that it's constitutionally not permissible. Because if it was constitutionally permissible, let me also highlight that it is Samajwadi Party that supported the UPA in power at the center. They had a decade to do this. They know it is not constitutionally mandated, not constitutionally permissible. That's why they didn't do it. They tried in many facets, in many states. But yesterday the position taken by Akhilesh Yadav exposes the hypocrisy that he imposes on his own vote bank. मेरी तो अपील है कि अखिलेश यादव की पॉलिटिक्स करने वाले जो उनकी वोट बैंक के लोग हैं, वो देखें कि उनका नेता जानता है कि जो वादे वो कर रहा है वो संवैधानिक मर्यादा को तोड़ने वाले वादे हैं, वो संवैधानिक स्वरूप में संभव नहीं है. आपका नेता आपको झूठ बोल रहा है. कल आपके नेता ने स्वयं आपको देश की संसद में ये प्रमाण दिया है.
Smriti ji, you were talking about the voters and intelligence of the voters. When the opposition leaders and you members of the opposition say that this is done only to influence results in West Bengal and Tamil Nadu, I personally think that this is an insult of the voters' intelligence, because, I don't think, and this is personal opinion, I don't think that, a decision in 7 days or 9-10 days can, sway public opinion. And when the Prime Minister has gone on record to say, अगर आप support करेंगे तो मुझे फायदा नहीं होगा, लेकिन अगर आप oppose करेंगे तो इसका नुकसान होगा और मुझे फायदा होगा. Why are they pushing this line?
मैं आपको पुनः कह रही हूँ, आपका जो पर्सनल ओपिनियन है वो सही है, मैं भी उसका समर्थन करती हूँ कि आप तमिलनाडु और बंगाल के वोटर्स का इतना अपमान ना करें कि वो इतनी आराम से स्वे हो जाते हैं एक स्पेशल सेशन ऑफ पार्लियामेंट से. उनको भी पता है कि वर्तमान के चुनाव से उसका कोई लेना देना नहीं है. ये आगामी लोकसभा के चुनाव में इंप्लीमेंट हो सके, ये संकल्प देश के प्रधानमंत्री ने स्वयं सदन के माध्यम से देश को बताया है. लेकिन वोटर की तौहीन करना ये तो विपक्ष की पुरानी आदत है. इससे आपको अचंभित नहीं होना चाहिए. वो नहीं समझते भारतीय वोटर की मैच्योरिटी, इसलिए विपक्ष में आज भी बैठे हैं.
Smriti ji, on the 5th